Record it. Okay, so welcome, ladies, Wendy and Carol Ann. Yay! All right, so in the chat, I put the link for this printable ebook. If you didn't print it yet, you can just pull that up on another device if you want to follow along. If you want to print it, you can. Sometimes some people like digital, some people like pen to paper. Really, it's just a personal preference. The ebook is kind of fluff. The first page is fluff. I always like to call that. This is the main page that we're going to be working through this evening. Just a place for you to jot down notes. And not all the oils that we're going to go over are on here, so there's always a blank on the back for you. The next page you'll see are a bunch of kind of like DIY oil recipes and blends for you. Just kind of a quick and easy thing to have on hand for you. Intro to safety with oils, just a little bit more advice and details on the safety of essential oils. And then some more references and tools for you. And then just the last fluffer page, right? Just to wrap it all up and make it look like it's pretty, extra pretty, with a bow on top. All right. So grab yourself a water and a pen, and we will jump and dive right in. I've got tangerine in my water this evening because I feel so special and spicy and feisty.
Plain old water.
That's okay. And then I just threw some spearmint on my throat, so hopefully I can communicate effectively with you, right? All right, I'm going to share my screen, if I can do this right. Yay, I sort of know what I'm doing. I'm in present mode. All right, so this is Essential Oils Made Easy. If you're in the wrong class, then now's your time to leave. If not, stay and join us. All right, what is the goal of this class? We're going to talk about 3 cool things about essential oils, 3 ways that you can use essential oils, and then lastly, how you can get them into your home if you haven't already, and the most cost-effective way for that. Feel free to jot your questions down as we're going along in the chat, and I will try to answer them as we go along. And if not, then I'll make sure at the end to go through the questions and re-answer them as we go, or whatever that word is, right? All right, so 3 cool things about essential oils. I like to keep things as simple and easy as possible because I'm a mom and I forget things. So they're safe. Why are they safe? Oh, you hear the one in the background, right? They're 100% natural, and there's no side effects. There's no additives to it. I mean, how many times have we watched those commercials on TV and they're like, oh, do you know somebody that took this while they were this, and now there's a lawsuit, so call this 1-800 number and you are owed some money. The beautiful thing about essential oils is you don't really have to worry about that. And we're going to teach you how to use them safely. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts differently to things. So it's possible that you might have a little bit of a different reaction with one essential oil versus another, just because my body isn't the same as your body, but we really don't want you to have any sort of negative reaction with them. So my goal, and ultimately, in my opinion, everyone's goal, is for you to use them safely and effectively, especially because I have littles at home. I didn't even say my name. I mean, you saw my name on the Zoom. My name's Bethany. I have 4 kids. I have littles ranging from 1-year-old to 9 now. And 2 of them have been my oily babies from the beginning, and 2 of them kind of got grandfathered in. And so since I don't know 100% what and how you're using oils on, less is more, right? But we'll talk more about that. Okay. So what are essential oils really, besides being safe, is they're just extracts from plants. I have this peppermint oil from doTERRA, and think about a peppermint leaf or a peppermint plant, right? What happens when you take that leaf and you bruise it or you twist it? All of a sudden you get that effervescent. One of the most visual ways for you to think about it is an orange peel, right? When you are twisting that and you see the zest kind of frolicking in the air ever so beautifully, right? That is the essential oil, really. And what we're doing is we bruise the essential oil when we're doing that, and it's the plant's natural way to help heal itself. And so doTERRA has, and other people have found a way to distill that and put it in a nice, beautiful bottle, just like this, okay? So it's man has helped things along, right? We're really good at that. The other thing about it is doTERRA prides themselves on being a certified pure tested grade essential oil. There is no governing property, so to speak, that says it has to be this way regarding essential oils. So what ends up happening is, you know, it's America. So go ahead, you can start your own essential oil company and you can put whatever you want in a bottle and slap a label on it that says 100% pure. Well, I can tell you what, the peppermint that doTERRA sells versus a peppermint that you would find, let's say, at Walmart is going to be completely different. The minute you open up that bottle, you're going to smell the difference. You're going to feel the difference on your body too. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of those bottles you cannot use internally or even topically. They only want you diffusing them. And so the beautiful thing about it is most of the oils within doTERRA, you can use all three ways. And if you look on this little peppermint slide, you see A, T, and I. A means aromatic, T means topical, and I means internal. So the doTERRA peppermint is safe to use all three ways. So 3 cool things and 3 ways that you can use them. Sense a pattern here? 3 is going to be your favorite number. All right, so once you get your peppermint in the mail, one of the first things I want you to do when you do is just open it up and smell it, right? Ah, it smells so good. So 1 drop of peppermint that you're going to put in your hand is equal to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. Okay, that's nuts. So that's why I'm always saying less is more, okay? You're going to just rub it in your hands. You're going to take this is my little ghetto diffuser, as I like to call it, and you're just going to go like this and take a nice deep breath, okay? You're going to take a little bit and rub it on the back of your neck. And then if you so dare and you're okay with where your hands have been, you can just take the little that's left on the palm of your hand and just press it to the roof of your mouth, okay? And so now what you just did is, those are the 3 ways that you can use essential oils. I'm totally jumping ahead, but that's okay. Peppermint, it's energizing. It promotes clear breathing. It actually helps cool the body. So if you have those that have an elevated temperature or a little bit warm, I'm a firm believer that fevers are there to kind of help your body fight things, but sometimes they kind of get a little high or a little scary. And so peppermint down the spine is actually going to help bring the body sort of back to homeostasis. That's what essential oils are really good at because they're natural. And our body craves and recognizes natural things. When we give it synthetic things, that's when the body kind of is like, what's going on here? Wait a second. You kind of confuse the body. But when you give the body more natural things, it responds a lot better to it. And thankfully, my kids have been pretty healthy, but when they're a little under the weather and they have a temperature that's a little bit higher than I feel comfortable with, just some peppermint down their spine helps cool them down. And right now my neck is actually starting to tingle and it's giving me that nice cooling effect. So it's a great one to cool. If you have any sort of head tension going on with your head, peppermint is another one to rub on your temples. Like I said, even the back of your neck, freshen your breath. Possibilities are endless. All right, now they're effective. They are actually more effective than modern medicine. I talked a little bit about how they're natural and our body recognizes things that are natural. Now, the beautiful thing about the essential oils is they are super, super tiny. The molecules are super tiny. So that some of them are actually so tiny that they can penetrate through the blood-brain barrier of cells and attack viruses. Modern medicine, for the most part, isn't that tiny and isn't able to get in there. You know, you're a little sick and under the weather, you go to the doctor, you do a video chat now with doctors, right? And they're like, yep, okay, it sounds like it's viral. Not much you can do. Go home, have some chicken soup, rest, and drink some water. Well, there's more that you can do. You can actually use essential oils to kind of support your body, boost its immune response, and just go to town on things. And that's why I love talking about On Guard. So On Guard, it promotes healthy immune function, meaning it's going to support your body on an immune level, right? There's a certain time of the year that I go through about a bottle of On Guard a month. I almost said a day. That's ridiculous. A month, not a day. And the reason being is because we're using it all the time. It's in our diffuser. We're putting it on the bottoms of the kids' feet day and night. We're putting it underneath our tongue. And just getting rid of the junk that's in the air and all around us. Before doTERRA came out with a hand sanitizer, I was making my own hand sanitizer with it, my own hand soap. Really, I'm killing all the bad guys and keeping the good guys around, right? Germs are, there are some germs that are good, right? We want to keep those guys. We don't want to wash them all away. And so a lot of the antibacterial things that are out there are killing both the good and the bad. And we want to keep the good because those help us out. On Guard is amazing for helping sore throats. So whether you've been talking too much, whether you've got some like strep thing going on, or just you're screaming at your kids for too long that day. The hoarseness, soothing your throat. You can make a throat spray, you can gargle with it, and it helps. What makes On Guard so amazing and special with the anti-properties to it is clove. Clove has a lot of the, drawing a blank on it, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's this scale, I should have written it down, but that's okay. And it can help clean the hands in your home for just optimal support that way. So yeah, we talked about safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. And you're probably thinking, okay, listen, Bethany, I looked at those kits. What do you mean affordable? All right, well, let me break it down for you. Part of my job and part of my responsibility is to teach you how to use these oils. Last thing I want is for you to get the oils and do what I did and let them sit in my house, in my closet for over a year. And then when I started using them, oh my gosh, the possibilities and the endless results that we had in our family, I was like, oh my gosh, why did I let these just sit here? Okay. So they're more affordable than traditional medical care, meaning most of us can go to the doctor, right, with either zero copay or a small copay. All right. So then you're like, how are you going to beat that? Well, the way the gas prices are going right now, it's going to cost us an arm and a leg to drive there. But between the time, like most people don't get sick at the optimal days and hours of the day, right? 9 o'clock in the morning is probably a great time to get sick, in my opinion, right? I don't know if we had to pick a time. What happens? Usually people and kids get sick in the middle of the night when like nothing's open and we're just like one-eyed open, groggily, we don't know what to do. And you got to go to work the next day. So it's either go to work or take your kid to the doctor. So you got to take time off. You got to get there with the gas. And then most likely the doctor's saying, okay, well, you got to keep your kid home because your kid is actually sick. Okay, now you're not taking the rest of the day off from work, whether you like it or not, or you got to find and pay a babysitter. So that just costs you a lot more money. And if you had the tools in your home, now I'm not saying that doctors aren't necessary because they totally are, but these are tools that you can have in your home as an arsenal, as a preventative. Like the On Guard is a great preventative option for you. And then ear infections or coughs or runny noses or whatever it may be, restless leg syndrome, aches and pains, the possibilities really are endless. So that's how it becomes more affordable than technically traditional medical care. And they are pennies per dose. So lavender, for example, because that's the next one that we're going to be chatting about, right? It can help calm the mind. It's calming for the skin, and it's a great antihistamine. I didn't realize how much allergy medicine costs till somebody told me. I was like, oh my gosh. Do you know a simple mixture of lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a roller bottle, in the diffuser, and then even taken internally costs, I think, like less than $1, because you're only putting a few drops. And in a bottle this size, these are the bigger bottle size of 15 ml, there's about 250 drops in this bottle. In the smaller bottle size, which are the 5 ml, I'll show you for reference. I should show you the camera. 85 drops. Okay, so just to give you the price or the drop difference, but 250 drops is going to last you a while, especially if you're doing 5 drops in the diffuser, 5 drops in a homemade roller bottle, which will last you a whole lot longer than if you were to just take the bottle of lavender and start dumping it on your skin, which we'll talk about. All right, so that's how they are more cost effective, which is awesome. Okay, I touched a little bit on the 3 ways to use essential oils. So here's your pop quiz. You didn't know that there was going to be a pop quiz, right? Oh crap, I'm putting you on the spot. But what are the 3 ways that you can use essential oils? The first way was aromatic, meaning you got your little ghetto diffuser. My hands still smell like peppermint, and because I put that drop of, or my hands still like spearmint, and now because of that drop of peppermint, right? Your little ghetto diffuser. So he's a weirdo sniffing your hands, right? You can stick them under your armpits too if you want. Diffusing helps clean the air, helps purify the air. We've all read those reports of the toxins in our home, or the air in our home is actually more toxic than like something else. I don't know. And then it helps support the respiratory system. Diffusing is actually one of the safest and quickest ways for the essential oils to get into your system. Why? Because the air is getting, or the diffusing is getting into the air. And what are we doing? We're breathing. And that's going throughout our whole body and being really effective. And it's actually one of the ways that it's most likely to have less of any sort of reaction because you're just breathing it in. It's just going to give you the aromatic benefits, supporting your respiratory system, all the 9 yards, all the 10 yards, whatever it is, whatever this name is. Okay, topical is the second way. So if you're lazy like me sometimes and you burn yourself, right? Lavender is a great one to use when you get burnt. You're cooking dinner, you burn your fingers off. Not off, but you burn them. You can actually take the bottle of lavender and just use it directly on your hands, okay? Or on the burnt part, let's just say. Now, you burn your whole body because you realized it's April and the sun came out and you haven't seen sun all winter long and you just burnt the bejesus out of your skin. A whole bottle of lavender, you're dumping it on yourself, right? That's it's kind of gonna be wasteful of your oils. And I don't want you to be wasteful of your oils because you work hard for your money and I want you to be able to use them most effectively. It's going to be just as effective diluting your oils. And I know that kind of goes against kind of what our minds think, because dilution, we think less effective. We think that we're watering things down when science has actually shown that when you dilute, you actually get better results. And you're like, wait a second, how is that possible, right? Because what ends up happening is you take this lavender and you put it on your skin, okay? If you're anything like me, you get heavy-handed. So you're like, okay, I need like 12 drops, right? So you just wasted like 12 drops, but you're rubbing the lavender, the 12 drops of lavender on your arm. And what's happening is a lot of it is flashing off and evaporating. Well, if you take your roller bottle that you made and you put 10 drops of lavender, mind you, you already went crazy, you put 12 on your arm, right? But on this arm, you're going to use a roller. You put 10, 15, at the most 20 drops of lavender in here. You fill the rest up with a carrier oil of like fractionated coconut oil, okay? Then you put the top on. It's a nice little roller, nice, easy, convenient. And now, not only can you rub your whole arm, you could probably rub the rest of your body down, okay? And now you're not burnt from being outside, longer than you should have. But it's actually more cost effective. And so you can reuse this lavender roller over and over again, and you're saving your money that way. All right, so that just gives you an idea of, oh, that's what I meant to say. So you're putting that roller on your arm, right, with the diluted lavender. And so the carrier oil helps act as a barrier onto your skin and allows your body to fully absorb all of the essential oil that you're putting on it. Now, remember we talked about I don't want you to have a bad reaction with essential oils. And because I don't know your body, I don't know how my body reacts, how your body reacts. So the last thing I want you to have is a bad reaction with essential oils. And so when you dilute them, it allows your body to absorb them on a smaller scale, and you're less likely to have any sort of reaction, which is the goal. And then the last way to use them is actually internally. So here's the disclaimer. Not all essential oils really should be taken internally, based on recommendations by the FDA, the CDC, whoever they are, those people, right? Now, if by chance one of the oils, you accidentally lick it or you get a drop, you're not gonna die. In fact, you might just poop your pants for a little bit and your body is just like trying to flush it out, okay? If you would take a whole bottle of anything really and chug it, then you might want to kind of do some things to get things going, okay? If your body doesn't help it. But because these are, just because everything is natural, right, doesn't mean you're going to go outside and chew on a poison ivy leaf, right? I mean, you can, but don't come crying to me, no. So what are some ways that you can actually use them internally? I mentioned at the beginning of this that I've got tangerine in my water. You want to stick to stainless steel or glass because these are organic and natural, and man-made plastics are actually the essential oil is actually going to erode and eat away. And you're trying to boost your body with flushing out toxins and stuff like with lavender or lemon or even tangerine. and now you're drinking the toxins because the plastic is getting broken down. So don't use plastic. So stainless steel or glass is great that way. Now, you can also use it in a vegetable capsule. So there's these empty vegetable capsules, and then you can put the oils in there and then swallow it and take it internally. And that gets into your system really fast. Most of the time you don't taste the essential oil. I like to do that with essential oils that I cannot stand the taste of them. And I just need to get them in my system, but I don't want to taste it. But if you like the taste of the oil and you want to hit your system really fast, underneath your tongue, because that's it just gets into your bloodstream really fast, right? If you're having a heart attack, what's one of the first things they do? They take a baby aspirin and stick it underneath your tongue so that your body can absorb it really fast, okay? So that's the three ways that you can use essential oils. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about some more oils. We already touched on peppermint, on guard, and lavender. Now let's talk about lemon. Lemon is a cleanser for the body and a cleanser for the home. All right, lemon has a high in limonene. Limonene, I think I said that right. And that one helps just flush your system, clean it out, do what it needs to do. It's a degreaser. So think of it like degreasing the inside of your body in a good way. And it's a great way to clean the home. I love it in the diffuser, especially if I burnt dinner and I want to get rid of that burnt smell in the air. It's a great one to clean your fruit and vegetables with. A little bit of lemon with some vinegar. Let them soak for a few minutes, and it gets all of the other people touching your fruit and vegetables and anything else that kind of animals, insects that walked all over your fruit. And it doesn't leave a lemony taste on your fruit or vegetables. In fact, it just helps them last a little bit longer in the refrigerator, which again is more bang for your buck, right? Lavender, I'm sorry, I keep saying lavender. We're talking about lemon. Lemon ends up being, I think, like 4 cents a drop or something crazy like that. So it's so affordable. And the possibilities for lemon are great. It helps get stickiness off of things. It helps get gum out of places that you didn't know gum could get into. I use lemon a lot, if you can't tell. All right, frankincense. I love Frankie Frank. So frankincense is just, it's good. It promotes calm feelings, helps with anti-aging. So if you got some fine lines and wrinkles that you want to work on, that's a great one to use on your skin. And it helps the cells perform optimally, meaning it's going to help your cells. And your body is made up of cells, okay? And this kind of goes over my head, but in a nutshell, it gets into the cell membrane and attacks things that we don't want there. Legally, ethically, I guess I'm not supposed to say much more than that, but you read between the lines and you just Google it. The doTERRA frankincense is actually made up of 3-4 different species of frankincense. So if you think of maple trees, there's different species of maple trees. And the reason why doTERRA frankincense has all 4 is because doTERRA prides themselves on being really good stewards of the earth. They don't want to strip natural resources. They don't want to completely deplete things. Whatever they take, they try and do really good at giving back. And so with that being said, when you combine all 4 of the species, you actually get this powerful frankincense. If you are prone to really bad migraines or ocular type headaches or tensions, frankincense pressed to the roof of your mouth will stop it dead in its track. If you can catch it like right beforehand. I have a business partner that she knows she's got triggers and she's like, oh God, here it comes. Where's my frankincense? And as long as she can get to her frankincense and press it to the roof of her mouth, she is good for the rest of the day. And if not, she's in her bed with the lights down low and that's it. She's done for the day. It's ridiculous. And frankincense has literally saved her life in a good way, right? I'm sure I'm forgetting. Oh, driver. I knew that. That was the other thing, most important part about frankincense. It's a driver. It's an enhancer. So what does that mean? Is it just makes all the other oils more effective. So when in doubt, use frankincense and go ahead and add half a drop, or if you can get a half a drop to anything that you're doing, and it's just going to enhance and make things that much more powerful. Okay, digestion. Oh, digestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. I feel like a commercial, but anything upset stomach-wise, it's going to help improve your digestion. So if you are eating something that you know is kind of not going to sit well, go ahead and take some digestion, rub it on your belly. You can use it internally if you want. I don't like the taste of it, but that's just me. Some people like it because it has a like an anise, black anise, not a black anise, anise, like a sambuca type smell to it. I think it's anise. I think I'm saying that right. But black licorice-y type thing. Anyway, it works good. When my belly hurts or we got the pukes going on or anything like that, this is the guy that you want to go for. So how does that work, right? We're so used to taking, what is it? Something for diarrhea and something for constipation, right? Two different medications, and they're going to help things flow out or keep things from flowing out too much, okay? Digestin is the magic ingredient for both options because it just knows what our body needs. You know, our body recognizes, okay, all right, yeah, we got to slow things down here. Let's use some digestion. Or, whoa, let's get some things going. Let's use some digestion. And it's perfect for that. Deep Blue. Can we just have a moment of silence for Deep Blue, because all things aches and pains and soreness, muscles, joints, and this is actually great for head tension too. So I'm actually soaking in Deep Blue currently because I popped my rib out again in my shoulder, and apparently once you pop a rib out, it just is like more prone to popping out, and so I do things too much and it just went so I'm in a little bit of pain. So Deep Blue has a great soothing and cooling. Think of an icy hot, okay, or a Bengay type situation. That's what Deep Blue is going to do for you. And it only comes in the little tiny bottle. You're not going to get it in a big 15 ml bottle. It always just comes in the little guy. It has a little child protective cap on it because if you look, we're missing the I up here for internal use. And that just means they don't want kids opening up the top and chugging it. It's not the end of the world, but you know, it is what it is. So Deep Blue is amazing. And it's actually one of the Deep Blue and Digestin are what I like to call the spousal converters. Because when I got essential oils into our home, my husband was like, I don't know about this. I don't know. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so Deep Blue and Digestin were the only two oils that he let me use on him for the longest time. And then finally, he's like, what are these things? I think they work. I'm like, yes, they do. So if you have a doubtful spouse, Deep Blue and Digestin will convert them, I promise. All right, let's see. Did I skip ahead too far? No. Breathe is all things. The name says it right there. Respiratory. This is going to help your lungs. It's going to help your sinuses. It's going to help clear your breathing day and night. So if you're somebody that snores, Breathe can actually help open up the airways at night and allow the breathing. We like to tell people to just put Breathe on the bottom of your big toe, and that will help with snoring at night. And this oil is the one that made me a believer that oils actually work. So my son had croup, and that barky cough is the most terrifying thing in the middle of the night. I didn't even know something like that could come out of a child or even exist. And then when it does, it's like, oh God, what, nobody tells you these things, right? We went to the doctor and he was like, yep, here's some medication, here's some steroids. And I'm like, okay, I was already sort of on that path of, okay, what can we do to keep this from happening? Like, how do we stop this from happening again? And he just kind of cocked his head at me and looked at me. He's like, you don't. And I'll see you back in a couple months, because once you get croup, it just keeps coming back. And I'm like, no. You know, my mama got inside of me said, no, that's not right. I'm going to figure this out. You know, we went home, we did the medicine because that's all I knew at the time. But then I was searching and I was looking, and Breathe and frankincense, the natural option, kept coming up. Breathe and frankincense, which makes total sense because Breathe helps with the respiratory and the coughing, and frankincense is a driver and an enhancer. So Wouldn't you know, we finished up what we were doing. I got Breathe and Frankincense in my home, and a few weeks later, I heard that cough coming up again. I was like, oh no, oh no. We just like stopped the round of antibiotics and the steroids. Where are you kidding me? So we did Breathe and Frankincense on his chest, down his spine, and in the diffuser at night. And it never got worse than a little cough. And then every so often it'll rear its ugly head in the middle of the night, because remember, things don't happen at 9 in the morning like we want them to. And what do? I get that same darn roller out that I've had since like 1995, and I roll it on my kids' chest, down their spine, and in the diffuser. And it's been a godsend. Since then, we've added cedarwood to it, because after just playing around for a while, cedarwood, frank, and deep and breathe are what has worked really, really good for our family. But breathe holds such a special place in my heart because of what it has done for my family, and I love it. So yeah, once you open up the bottle of breathe, you're like, I didn't know I couldn't breathe before this, but wow, that's good. Another way I love to use it is on my chest right before I work out, because when you sweat, it's kind of like you got your own little natural sweaty diffuser going on when you're working out. Okay, Wild Orange is an invigorating oil. It's energizing, it uplifts the mood. Wild Orange is a great one because citrus ones are all gonna always be happy. Happy, happy, happy. Think of the sun when you think of citrus oils, right? Very uplifting, very invigorating. I wouldn't suggest that you diffuse, let's say, lemon at night, because you want to calm down, you want to go to sleep, right? But actually, Wild Orange is one of those awesome ones that if you diffuse it at night, it does something with your brain and your head, and it just kind of helps settle things down. So if you're one that just lays awake at night, thinking about your to-do list, and you're like, oh, I got it, right? Wild Orange just kind of goes and brings you down a little bit and settles you down, which is a great one to pair in the diffuser at night with some other ones, in case you struggle with that. Okay, Adaptive. If you haven't been introduced to Adaptive, let me introduce you to Adaptive. If 2020 had an oil as its theme, it would be Adaptive. This is all things easing your nervous feelings, anxious feelings, your mind, calming things down, helps you it just calms you down. I don't know how to explain it. It's a magic calming oil. Deep breaths, inhaling, and any sort of anxious, anxiety, stress-related things, Adaptive is going to be your new favorite friend on adults and kids alike. Now, if you notice, it doesn't have a little eye next to it, and the oil itself is not suggested for internal use, but there is an adaptive supplement that pairs beautifully with this oil that is for internal use, and it works with the GABA. And again, it's going to go over my head because I don't dive too, some of the scientific stuff just goes over my head. I just know it works and it's great. But if you wanted to do a little bit more research into it, I can, point you in that direction. But most of us have the GABA thingamajigger in our brain, and we're lacking it. And this just naturally helps support our body with it, and it helps calm the anxious feelings. I know people that have been able to, alongside their doctor, by all means, but been able to wean off of their anxiety medicine and strictly just use the doTERRA products, which are going to have no side effects and just be, more beneficial that way. Okay, Copaiba is another one that's great for calming the entire nervous system. If you've heard of CBD oil, then you may or may not have heard of Copaiba. I think CBD oil has a place for people. However, if you don't like some of the things or don't want to deal with the CBD or don't fully understand it, Copaiba is an amazing, amazing way to use it. It helps settle the body down. It's going to help actually soothe aches and pains also. It's really good, Copaiba. And actually I used a lot of Copaiba before Adaptive came along, and now Adaptive has taken the place of Copaiba, but I still use Copaiba, especially for pain and inflammation and just achiness and stuff like that too. Copaiba is phenomenal. And I use it in my diffusing blend for sleep, all the way around. Okay, Balance. Balance is one of the original sort of grounding blends. It was one of the first blends that doTERRA made up. And this one is going to be great for relaxing, helps calm the mind and the body, and it just it promotes a tranquil aroma. It's got frankincense in it. It's got some other calming and grounding oils. Think of the best way to describe balance is if you just take your feet off. Oh, no, take your shoes off. Keep your feet on. Take your shoes off. And you just go walk in the grass. And you know that amazing feeling of walking in the grass? That's what balance feels like in a good way, right? Or walking on the beach or whatever that area that sometimes you just got to touch earth, right? And that touching of the earth, balance really helps connect you and bring you into that balance, which is why its name is so awesome. And it smells really good, so that helps. Citrus Bliss is uplifting. It promotes feelings of cheerfulness. You can use it as a perfume. It has a sweet note to it. So this is a blend that has been concocted and mixed up by doTERRA. It's a couple of citrus oils, a little bit of vanilla hint to it, and it's really, really good. And you can actually get it for free because you are seeing my face today, which is awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so something I want you to think about and kind of, bring to the forefront of your brain, and there's actually a spot for you on this page that you printed out, your top wellness goals or your top health concerns. Now, some people can just sit there and write, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it may do for you. And some people kind of struggle, like, I don't know, what do I need? What do I, and that's okay. But stick with 3. I told you you're going to see a common theme here, 3, right? Because 3 is manageable. 3 is not overwhelming. And if you're anything like me, if you see something in front of you and you're completely overwhelmed, you're just like, nope, I'm good. I'm done. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to sit here and pretend like I know what I'm doing. Right? So 3, think of 3 things. And they can be as simple as you want to sleep better, or you want to just support your family's immune system, or you really want to help your back because you're in that much pain, right? The beautiful thing about the oils that I just talked about is they can take care of up to most likely about 80% of your health concerns, whatever that looks like, right? So it's really, really just exciting to see what you want to work on, right? And then once you that's not the right word. Once you conquer those 3 health concerns, guess what? You can find 3 more that you want to do. Okay, now I want to overhaul my cleaning routine, right? Or now I want to overhaul my laundry routine. And you begin to see the possibilities of literally reducing your toxic load within doTERRA and saving money, which is probably the most exciting thing that I love to do. All right. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about is, do you want to feel awesome? I can't have your attention and not talk to you about one of the amazing things that's called the Lifelong Vitality. It's also got a little sub name, LLV. And basically, it's doTERRA's whole food supplement that our body recognizes as whole foods. I have a whole nother video that I recorded. It's about a half hour long, talking all about the Lifelong Vitality and what is specifically in each bottle and why it's amazing. In a nutshell, it's a whole food vitamin and mineral. It's an antioxidant, cellular energy, and longevity, and then an omega fish oil. Okay, and they're doTERRA's #1 product, actually. And if you take it for a month and you don't feel better, and you don't feel more energy, less aches, you could send the empty bottles back to doTERRA and they'll refund you. And that's how confident doTERRA is in these products. I love them. Funny story, I used to give my husband like the men's 1 a day. And then I was taking the Lifelong Vitality. And then finally I was like, oh, I should probably start giving my husband Lifelong Vitality because I was having such great results. And so I gave it to him. And that first winter of him taking it for the whole time, he turned to me and he was like, this is the first winter I really haven't gotten as sick. I'm like, oh yeah, you haven't. He goes, what were you giving me before? I was like, oh, I don't know, just like, Walmart. Let's not talk about that, right? So that's my little plug for the Lifelong Vitality. All right, now we've talked all about these amazing oils, and now you're thinking to yourself, if you haven't already, how do I get them? So retail is actually the most expensive way to get them, and I'm not even going to tell you how to do that because friends don't let friends buy retail. I can't do that to you. There's wholesale, and then there's cheaper than wholesale. Wholesale is kind of like a BJ's membership. You can get started with one of the kits, and what those kits do is get you the wholesale pricing for a year. And that is what you're probably saying, okay, what's the wholesale pricing? It's a 25% discount, okay? You're gonna see two prices on the website. You're gonna see retail, and then you would see wholesale. Okay, now how do I get wholesale, or how do I get cheaper than wholesale? So wholesale cheaper than that is you've already got started with your kit, and then you're loving your products and you're loving them. And so what you can do is you can actually opt into what's called the loyalty rewards program, and that's like an auto ship. And now you're probably like, oh God, here we go. This is what it's all about. Not really. The auto ship is really convenient and awesome. You get points for ordering on the products that you normally do and want to get. And you earn points back. You're still getting the 25% discount on all of the product. And it actually ends up saving you money. How so? Well, I can talk more about that later on if you're more interested in it. It's nothing that's required. If you decide to just get your wholesale account and use it that way with the 25% off, you can do that too. It's totally customizable according to your needs and your budget and whatever works for you, which is great. All right, what can you expect from me? So we have an awesome team page full of education, daily education. We do weekly giveaways. You get me, or I think Wendy, you got started with Christy, correct? Yes. Okay, so you've got Christy, and the best part is you got Christy and you got me too. And there's a couple other people in between us that will be more than willing to help and support you. You get access to our educational group that I talked about. We have a great community, giveaways, and then just ongoing support. You know, we're here to support you. Like I said, the last thing I want you to do is get your oils and then sit there like a deer in headlights, like, how do I use these? What do I do, right? I don't want you to be like me. Use your oils. They're amazing. All right, I want to talk to you really quick about the amazing kits that doTERRA has. I'm only going to talk about 3 of them because these are my 3 favorites. doTERRA just released this one. It's called the Aroma Essential Kit. If you're one of those people that's like, you know, I don't know about this internal, I don't know about putting them on my body, but I really like my house to smell good. This is going to be the collection for you. It's basically goodbye toxins, if I can speak. Hello, nature. It's going to be 10 oils that you can diffuse, comes with a beautiful diffuser, and strictly that's what this is going to be for. They're going to come in the smaller bottle sizes, okay? So there's that. If you're like, nope, I'm ready to put them on my body, I might use them internally, and I really want to use them in a diffuser. This is going to be the Healthy Start Kit. It's going to be 10 of the oils, and it's going to actually not come with this diffuser anymore. It's going to come with a different diffuser. It's called the Pebble diffuser. It's just as cute, looks just like that, just a little bit different. All right, I just didn't have an updated slide. I'm sorry. But it's going to come with most of the oils that I talked about tonight, okay? And these are going to come in the smaller bottle sizes, the 5 ml, which is going to be the 85 drops. And, oh, I took the wrong one out. There we go. This is the one I want to talk about. The Healthy Essential Kit. It's actually been renamed the Home Essential Kit, okay? And it is going to be the 10 oils that we talked about. Frankincense is not in here. That's the one. And all of the oil bottles are the 15 ml, so the bigger size bottles, except for the deep blue because it only comes in that one. And it comes with the Pebble diffuser, which is awesome. And that is that. So the bigger size bottles or the smaller size bottles, really your preference. I think you got started with the Healthy Start, right, Wendy? The smaller bottles. Okay, that's perfect. Because you're seeing me, you have an option to get the Citrus Bliss for free, which would be included with all the kits that I just talked about. If you decide that you want to go big and go home and your order is over 300 plus, you'll get the Citrus Bliss and the Adaptive for saying hi to me. It's totally your option. And then I wanted to touch on this also quick, the Wellness Made Easy or Made Simple. doTERRA has these collections already ready to rock and roll for you: a respiratory kit, a sleep kit, a relief kit, immunity, and mind and mood. These are the 5 areas that people struggle with the most, or if you were to look at your top wellness concerns, my guess would be that at least one of your health concerns would be addressing one of these areas. And you can opt into these kits after you get started, and it becomes 3 months of, let's say you choose the mind and mood kit, and you can opt into it, and for 3 months you'd get a shipment from doTERRA, 1 each month, and be different products each month based on the mind and mood, which is fun. But we can talk more about it. I have a whole thing on the team page explaining more in depth about this, but these are beautiful and really kind of like, if you want to hit the easy button on your wellness in your life, this is a great way to hit the easy button. Who doesn't need easy buttons, right? You don't have to text me because I already have your ladies' contacts, which is good. I always like to mention this. If you had fun and you think you have other people that want to join us or have fun and you want to earn some free product, we can do a class like this. We can do an in-person class if people are comfortable, and we can even do Facebook classes too. And we can get you a keychain with some oils in it for you if that's something that you're interested in. All right, I'm going to stop screen sharing for a moment and see if we have any questions in the chat. I don't think I saw any come up, but I was paying attention, but I wasn't. No, we're good. All right. So if you want, you can unmute yourself and we can totally chat and answer any questions. Or if I if I blew through something, you're like, say that again, please let me know.
Are all the diffusers the same?
Ooh, good question. No. I actually have a graphic that I was going to post because doTERRA came out with the Pebble diffuser. doTERRA has a ton of different diffusers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 different ones now, give or take. And each one has a different square footage that it covers and a different time frame that it runs for. And it's really just a personal preference. I have some that are my favorites. Diffusers you can get off of Amazon if you want. Just don't get your oils off of Amazon. I feel like diffusers are diffusers, so to speak. The one thing that I do love about doTERRA's diffusers is they come with a 1-year warranty, whereas a lot of those other places don't, is the only disclaimer. But yeah, there's on the website, I think it breaks down, like if you're looking for a specific square footage of what a diffuser covers, you can look on the website and it'll give a description by each diffuser. But I do have a graphic that I can share that breaks it down all in one spot. That's a great question.
Now, if I use the diffuser at night and I have whatever scent in there, and then I come home from work and I want to do something else, you rinse it out, wash it out, start over?
Yeah. So normally I'm lazy. Let me tell you what I do or what you should do. No. If you're using an oil that isn't really strong or isn't a thick oil, I find the thicker oils tend to kind of sit in your diffuser, and that's when it needs a really good cleaning. So I do half water, half vinegar. I let it sit for a little bit, take a little scrubby, give it a little scrub, rinse it out, and then I'll take a paper towel and wipe it out. But if you are using the diffuser at night and then you come home from work and you want to use it again, just maybe take a paper towel and wipe it out, and you might have gotten most of the whatever's left in there, and you should be good to go. A good rule of thumb is you probably want to clean your diffuser once a week. Do as I say, not as I do sometimes, because I don't do that. And you will probably end up being like me and have a diffuser everywhere. I have like 4 downstairs, 1 in each room upstairs. And the beautiful thing about it is part of the team is if you go through the continuing education punch card, you can actually earn a diffuser for free. If you are like, I want another diffuser. So that's one of the fun perks too. Great question. Any other questions?
Roller balls. You were talking about making them. How do you do that? And what exactly would you need?
So you need, so in the, doTERRA sells them, they're empty without a label on them, roller bottles. Amazon has them too. There's a ton of different oily shops too that sell oil accessories. So it comes empty and you would just figure out, like, let's say you wanted to do lemon, lavender, and peppermint for allergies, okay? I start with 5 to 10 drops of each oil. So you would put the essential oil in first, and then you take your fractionated coconut oil, pretend this is non, right? Like my sound effects. You fill it with the fractionated coconut oil to about here, the neck of the bottle. You would put the roller part on top, and then I just give it a, oh, I'm throwing oil over this. Just give it a good zhuzh, and then you can just go ahead and roll it on whatever you need, wherever you need it. And that's the easy, convenient way to do it. But yeah, if it's for an adult, anywhere, I start with 10 drops from each oil. It's always easier to add more essential oil to it than it is to, you just, you can't take it out. Take out the essential oil. And if you are someone that's like, I don't want to DIY, that's too hard. doTERRA does have a few roller bottles that are already pre-diluted. So you have the lavender oil, right? Sorry. And then you have the lavender touch that's ready to rock and roll. The only disclaimer with this is it has a one use. You can only use it topically. Because it's already diluted, you're not going to open it up and put it in your diffuser because the fractionated coconut oil will ruin your diffuser. So this one, the bottle itself is actually more bang for your buck because, you know, you can use it. And plus the roller bottles, I think they're 10 mLs, which works out to be, I think, about 150 drops of oil in there, give or take. Yeah.
Do the bottles have, like, if they're kid safe or not on them?
If they're kid safe or not?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes. So typically, in my opinion, all the oils are safe for kids. Topically, especially diluted for kids is my good rule of thumb, always diluted. There is a whole kids line that is designed specifically for kids in mind. For them to use independently without any sort of worry or fear. But each bottle does have the ways that you can use the essential oil. So this is the Breathe oil, and it'll say on there, topical and diffuse, not for internal use. So if you're like, oh crap, I forgot what Bethany said, you just got to get your magnifying glass out and find it on there. So yeah, does that help answer your question? Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. So I think that's it then. We're good. Yay. Thank you for joining. Glad we could troubleshoot and answer any questions that you have. So reach out.